So today we're going to be flipping through one of my really old sketchbooks. I've been promising this for a little while now, and I finally mustered up the time and courage to get it recorded for you all. So yeah, we're just gonna jump right in. I'll be talking about everything that's going on in here. This sketchbook I started, I want to say this is from my freshman year of college. Normally I date them, but this one I actually didn't for whatever reason. So a lot of this sketchbook is actually just studies and a lot of thumbnails from my illustration classes. So like concept studies in there, and a lot of life drawing as well, and then of course just doodles from when I was in classes and I just wanted to doodle as an artist does. I spent a lot of this sketchbook playing with gouache, which at the time was one of my favorite mediums, and it's still a huge favorite of mine. I just kind of stopped using it for a little while and I'm getting back into it now, but I was using it for basically everything. So there's a lot of sketching with that. A lot of sketching with black Prismacolor pencil, which is another one of my favorite things. So yeah, just kind of going through this, I was having a lot of fun playing with line, playing with color blocking in these. I started actually getting a little bit more into landscaping and into scenes, which I hadn't really been doing as much before. And then of course you'll see a lot of my drawings of girls, which I do all of the time. I loved this one in particular. It was a drawing of a poem, and you can see the name of the poem that I just pulled out. And yeah, let's see, this one was actually a concept for one of my illustration classes, and we had to design an editorial illustration for this, I don't know, it was like a fake editorial piece, and so we had to do that. And that's one of the characters that I designed that I ended up really liking at the time. For whatever reason, she's not actually like a super dynamic character design at all, but yeah. Let's see, this one was from one of my live streams that I did on Instagram, which, wow, I haven't done that in forever. I was live streaming just me quickly sketching a lot of animals. And that's another thing that I was doing a lot in the sketchbook as well, is I, before this, had been spending a lot of time in my sketchbooks. I was definitely one of those people, and still tend to be one of those people who tries to make everything in their sketchbook really pretty. Obviously when I was younger I didn't do this, but I think kind of as a result of social media I got into the habit of trying to make everything that I did perfect. I wanted to be able to post and share every single piece that I did, whether it was like a tiny little line or a huge masterpiece, and I wanted to be extremely proud of it. And that's just really unrealistic. But so, yeah, I kind of put that pressure on myself in my sketchbooking time to make everything really pretty and to spend a lot of time on it. And as a result, my sketchbooks were taking me almost a year to fill a whole one, as densely as I do. And I remember taking, I think actually my first illustration course, my first semester of my freshman year, with a really wonderful teacher who is still one of my favorite teachers, and also a practicing illustrator. His name is Joe Roshert, and I remember taking a class with him and him showing us kind of his sketchbook practice and how quickly he went through sketchbooks, how quickly he got ideas down. And one of the things that he just really pushed a lot was that we should always be putting out ideas, and we should be filling sketchbooks quickly, because the point of a sketchbook is not to make everything perfect, but it's to get everything out and to get everything down and to let your ideas run wild and to not put pressure on yourself to make things pretty. So that's what I spent most of this sketchbook on, So there's a lot of studies, there's a lot of loose doodles. It's a little bit different from, I think, the other sketchbooks that I've posted this far, but I was really proud of it. I was really happy with how it came out. Despite everything not being perfect, I think that I got a lot more conceptual with the stuff that I was drawing instead of just trying to make something pretty, which as an illustrator, that's the most important part, and I think that this was really my stepping stone into that. So this guy right here that I just flipped past, these are some concepts for a tea box that I ended up designing. I really loved that project a lot. It was so much fun. This is another study that I did. Some eyes. These were actually for my 2D design class, which we played a lot with shapes and just using really simple shapes to help us practice setting up compositions that were really dynamic and really captivating. And I really hated that class when I took it, but it was really useful. These are some sketches from when we went to the museum. I can't remember which one we went to. I think it was in Boston. We took a field trip, and so I was sketching some of the pieces that were up that I really liked. And I started getting really into dynamic figure drawing in this one too, which again was another thing that I had been struggling with before. Is I would always start drawing my people, I would draw their face, and then it would end up just turning into a really stiff standing position and nothing exciting would be happening. And so I was trying in this sketchbook to get a lot more into drawing the whole body and working on the whole body at the same time instead of finishing one part of it and then slowly working down, obviously, just to help get a much more dynamic pose in here. And I was articulating the body in really, really weird ways, which ended up being something that I loved a lot and something that I still work with a lot. And yeah, it looks like that's actually the end of it. Those were just some photos again from my museum visit. And then here in the back of my sketchbook is kind of where I just keep like my random loose drawings that I, just doodled on random paper. That was like a color test for something, and a more like finished line art of something that I had drawn in there. These were for, again, another one of my illustration classes. And then the rest of these are just some photos of things that I found inspiring. That's usually what ends up in the pocket of the back of my sketchbook is things that, I don't know, I really enjoy, either the colors or the style or whatever it may be, the shapes. And I'll keep them in the back, and usually when I'm working in the sketchbook, I'll pull them out every once in a while just to give myself a little more inspiration. And yeah, I think that's really it. So anyways, I just want to say thank you to everybody for watching the video. I hope you guys like it. I have a lot more sketchbooks that I'll be sharing soon. I have at least like 3 or 4 that need to be shared. Yeah, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.